My name's Rich Howarth. I'm the Biosphere Programme Manager of the Living Coast UNESCO World Biosphere region, and we're here today at Brighthelm Gardens. We just had a great conference, Growing Our Living City. The Biosphere is one of the co-organisers of that conference, and we're involved because we're really concerned and interested in green infrastructure, in the services that nature can give us, ecosystem services, and in the natural capital that we have here in some abundance actually within our biosphere area. So green infrastructure is one of our priorities, and we've been doing a few practical projects to actually advance this agenda, to get it more into the mainstream. That's really what we want to do. We want nature to be part of people's thinking socially, and also in terms of new development and economic growth. So some of the things we've done some work around water and rain gardens, and we've also created some of these biodiversity features which we call butterfly banks. There's one just here at Brighthelm Gardens, right in the heart of Brighton Hove, the city centre. And here we brought in volunteers, we took wildflowers, seed sourced from the South Downs, so all local genetic stock. Volunteers got involved with growing it on at Stanmer Nursery at the council site, and then planting it out, working with the Sussex Wildlife Trust as well, here to create this new feature which is great for wildlife and really nice for people too. All the office workers sit around here and have their lunch, and I think everyone really appreciates it. And we did this 2 or 3 years ago, and it's really thrived, and you can see it's in great state, and volunteers have been involved both with creating it and also helping to maintain it as well. So it's a really good example of what you can do, and you can see there's bees and there's butterflies buzzing around and providing these essential services like pollination, for example, and access to nature for people.
Hello, so I'm Ben Earle. I'm Water Efficiency Manager at Southern Water, and Southern Water is a key partner in the Biosphere project, which is jointly sponsored today. I also manage the private partnership, or all the partnerships within the Biosphere, and this is where we bring the private sector and the public sector working together for the benefits of the community and for the objectives of the Biosphere. So the reason that we're so interested in Brighton Hove and its future is about how water is used for the city. So you've got a massive aquifer underneath the South Downs to the back of Brighton, and this is the key source of water resources for the city. So making sure that is kept in a clean perspective is really important to this project and to the vision of the city. But in addition, I'm looking after water efficiency and about how we use water more responsibly, how we cut its wastage and make sure that the amount of water we have available is there for future generations to use as we continue to grow, and for the population dynamics and the effects of climate change to kick in over the years to come. So this has been a really exciting project today to feed into the 2030 vision for the city. We hope that a number of the objectives will get picked up and be delivered in the years ahead.
I'm Stefan Lehmann, Professor of Sustainable Cities and Director of the Cluster for Sustainable Cities. Well, a whole range of things we will discuss today. For instance, come with your bike or by train, as I just arrived in this beautiful city, Brighton and Hove. I think it's important to understand how to integrate new technologies. For instance, no city in the world has a strategy how to deal with autonomous cars, self-driving vehicles. And they're only 5 years or 4 years away. They're going to be on our streets. So we need to understand the impact of climate change, but also the impact of new technologies. And we need a policy framework that deals with it. All policies in cities in the UK are 15, 20 years old, policies on urban planning. That means they have been written, those policies have been written before an awareness of climate change impact. So we have to reformulate many of those policies and integrate climate change impact into those urban planning policies. But there's great potential in the city here. I mean, you've got the waterfront, obviously sea level rise is an issue. Another big issue is affordability, gentrification. We have to be careful how we act to not allow gentrification to go just wild, like we've seen in many of the wonderful boroughs in London that have become totally unaffordable now. It's a big issue. People get pushed out from a place where they used to live all their life. And the other one is waste management. I'm very interested in waste management and material flow. And I know it's not a popular issue, but it's one of the big headaches every city in the world And if I may add just one more point, I think health and well-being, health needs to be the driver of all strategies, of all policies in cities. Number one driver of policies, of strategies, of urban planning should be health. Well, the good starting point for any urban regeneration strategy or a 2030 vision, which is not far away anymore, 2030 is just around the corner. A good starting point is to think of enhancement of public space, improving public space. And you've done some great work already in Brighton, like New Street, but waterfront improvement and other areas. But we need to do more. We cannot stop upgrading public space. And the second is low carbon mobility concepts, how people move around in the future. Very, very important. How do we make cycling safe and pleasant, walking? A joyful city is a city that has great streets, it makes great cities, that is a joy to walk, pleasant and safe. And then there's a lot in between cycling and electric cars, for instance, pedelec or electric scooters. There's a lot of great new thinking about mobility concepts, how to make public transport even more attractive, how to get people in the electric bus, in the solar bus that is zero emission free. And this is the future, really, to strengthen public transport and to think about low carbon mobility, how people will move around in the future, at the same time the public space network. In a city as beautiful as Brighton Hove, we can spend a lot of time outdoor. Just look at the wonderful summer we have now. So public space and spending time outdoor is prime important for a city like Brighton Hove.